As I mentioned to you, the software on one of the slides is a role-based application. What that means is that once I log in using a URL here, it's just my demo database, each user is provided a role-centered environment. So this is the business manager's point of view, which means that I have access to many things that are accounting related. However, if you were in your warehousing, purchasing, your environment will look slightly different. It is a multi-company application. It's very much like surfing the internet. If you click on some of these options, such as sales orders, it will take you to those sales orders that are currently open. We'll come back to that shortly. If I wanted to search for sales orders, as opposed to actually clicking on the menu, I can go in here. And what's really cool about this is what Microsoft is doing with the product and constantly improving it. It's called Insights, or very basic AI. So as you can see, I'm typing partially the name of what I'm looking for. In fact, I can actually type it backwards, and it will find that Oliver, I'm assuming based on your profile that you're probably looking for sales orders, which is basically the same thing as I would have done if I had clicked the menu option on the background. So what that tells you is that with the Microsoft upgrades coming up, hopefully one of these days, it's smart enough to know that if you're an accountant, you're probably looking for a specific document, etc. So I might no promises about that, but certainly this product has changed over the last 20 years, and it's really much more easier to use. In addition, if you're looking at the bottom of the screen here, oftentimes a lot of users are asking, so Oliver, how do I know how many open sales orders I have open out there that I should be shipping? Well, you know what? I don't have to tell you that. It's very much like your smartphone. If you're looking at a smartphone and it's telling you have 2 text messages, of course you're going to open it to see what those 2 text messages are. If it's 0, why bother opening it unless you want to look at history? So in this case, let's go back to the same sales orders. If I click that, it will allow me to open to see what those open 6 sales orders are. Very much like what you would expect if you were on a website. If you click on the sales order here, it will allow you to open it and see what the actual sales order looks like. When you're looking at a document throughout the software, I'm just going to change that quickly. You will notice that there's always this screen at the right-hand side in here. Not always, but most of the time it's there. This is what we call a fact box. Why a fact box is important? It's important because whenever you're working with someone, Microsoft has made sure that you're always customer service focused. So what that means is as if you're working with a sales order, you know right away how many shipments you made to this customer over the lifespan of this customer, how many invoices. If you are scrolling down here, you can see customer details, the payment terms, credit limit. If you go down here, you're going to see later on, I'm going to expand on this, you can see the item or the product history and availability and so on. So if I go back to the list previously, you can also see the same fact box so that anytime you want to look at a little bit of history on the customer, you're always customer service focused. Now that you've seen how I can find a menu option using the search menu, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you search menu up here, how to use another search feature within the actual window or page itself. So now if you're looking at these orders, you can see that I don't have many, but imagine in real life this would be hundreds or thousands of records, right? So imagine ring, customer calls up and they're saying, hey Oliver, I'm from Trade Grapes. Can you tell me what the status is of my PO number 64? I know you can easily see it down there because I don't have a lot of records here, but imagine being able to go in here and say, what was that PO number again, number 64? And if I type that in there, it will automatically find it for me. In fact, the system is actually smart enough to find that number within the sales order number. Perhaps that was sales order number 64. The point I'm trying to emphasize here is that the software does allow you inherently to find records within the actual page or window that you are currently sitting at. So what that means to you is makes it easier for you to look for those records. It's everywhere, it's prevalent in the software. Now, the other thing that I want to show you as well from customer focused perspective, and this is really just the basic navigation of the software, is that you can see at this point how many of these sales orders have been shipped and not invoiced. So remember I told you earlier that one of the reasons Business Central is so powerful is that it provides you traceability, audit trail, and makes your month-end reconciliation that much easier. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but how often have you said to yourself, you know, it would be really, really nice if I can see what sales orders I've shipped so I know that I need to invoice them, because now we are sitting on, let's pretend today is November 1st, November 2nd, we're doing the October month end. Now imagine being able to do this and saying, which sales order should I ship? But then I want to filter on those sales orders that are not equal to 0 under the amount shipped, not invoice. So now we know we have 3 sales orders that we can focus on in invoicing in real time. So a lot of advantages there. I just want to give you an intro as far as some of these unique features, because as I go through the software, I'm going to quickly use some of these techniques so that you're not getting lost and you're not, if you're not sure what exactly I'm doing, I just want to give you that quick introduction. There's so much more that I can show you from a role at a center perspective and a navigation perspective, but hopefully you can appreciate how much easier life would be from a workflow and notification perspective, that all this information is readily available to you, particularly this section here, which is called the activities queues, because it clearly gives you quick access to that information.